Well, hello everybody. It's been a sec since I've posted. I know I have to post more, but you know how things are. I don't know. I really have a hard time with routine. So, like I've mentioned over and over again, I'm really sorry. I actually want to be more active. Just sometimes I kind of feel like I don't know, my content is too boring, and I enjoy doing what I do. It's just I don't know if it's boring. I don't know. Like I want to try different things as well because aside poetry, I also really like discussing controversial topics in general. So I thought, why not try that, like in other senses? Things that we also that we are also going through that I believe people don't really talk about that much. Like, because it's almost over. I do feel like it's almost over when it comes to quarantine. And hopefully it's almost over. But I don't know, I don't really talk about it like how emotionally taxing it can be. And today I really had a bad day and I was thinking like, you know what, I kinda wanna talk about it. I wanna discuss it with other people out there. And I don't know why the word hikikomori kinda popped in my mind. Um Now I don't know if I'm going a million miles per hour, so I'm gonna like slow down. But here's the thing, I actually recorded something else for this video. Um, when it comes to voice, I was talking mostly about myself and my experience in quarantine. Though, yes, I do want to talk about something when it comes to quarantine, but I don't know if like I should really talk about it for reasons that I can't really explain right now. But I said like, I don't know if it's not a good idea to talk about my personal experience and like, explain everything. Also because like a lot of people that know me that I don't feel comfortable talking about these things because it's only gonna cause more problems if I am truly honest about things. Know my channel, so I was like, maybe not go specific to it, even though it sounds weird, but actually just recording myself and saying exactly how I feel about everything, it's so therapeutic. No, you don't have to, like, I didn't show my audio to absolutely no one, but actually saying it aloud, it just made me feel so much better. And honestly, it sounds weird, guys, but I do encourage you to try that because it is somehow, I don't know, feels great. And you know that you're not boring the person that is listening to you because there's absolutely no one. Because, sometimes people want to help, but when they try to help, they say stuff that is mostly hurtful. Or like, they do make you feel like they don't really understand. They just say the wrong word, and being as sensitive as we are, some of us at least, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm such a fool already. So it is kind of hard to find a balance between those things. So instead, I was thinking like the word hikikomori just popped in my mind, and like quarantine together. You know what? I just feel like more hikikomori people have come out, or like maybe like the decent definition of hikikomori that maybe a foreign person that has, like, even if I'm half Japanese. I don't really know personally any hikikomori because it's mostly like a Japanese thing. But I feel like a lot of people are feeling the pressure of being something like that, and other people see them as that too. Specifically, some like maybe family members, maybe even friends, like people that know them, and a lot of us are going through the same thing. Even though obviously a lot of people are, it's not the same as when COVID started. Um, a lot of us don't have a job. A lot of us are actually going to school. They're going to uni, college. Here in Texas, at least, there's like no online classes. You go to high school, middle school, whatever. Um, I guess in my case, I don't do either. So I do kind of feel like a hikikomori since I'm 21. Even though I'm not entirely. I do want to explain the whole context because a lot of people are gonna be like, but what is hikikomori? I've never heard of that. What did you even say? Hikiko what? And well, I'm gonna explain. Actually, after making this research, things are more clear for me, and I don't think people are turning more hikikomori because of quarantine, because of little difference that are between what's happening now and being hikikomori. Also, the social context and the Japanese context of it itself. So, we want to start off with what is hikikomori. So, quoting from the PMC, which is the U.S. National Library of Medicine and National Institute of Health, hikikomori is a form of severe social withdrawal, has been described in Japan, and is characterized by adolescents and young adults who become recluses in their parents' home, unable to work or go to school for months or years. Now, also reading from the same page from PMC, they do explain that in Japan, they use the word hikikomori because it's more socially accepted. They use it instead of going for the immediate, let's say, scientific or actual name of any mental disorder, for example, like schizophrenia or depression. Actually, according to Borovoy, which is a anthropologist expert in Japan, he explains that psychologists won't diagnose right away. Like they will take the last minute until diagnosing a disorder, and so it's like more socially acceptable to just say like hikikomori to let's say just to soften the ground to say so. Um, like as an example, trying to explain this, but yeah. So it's more like of a term that people use like on the streets, if that makes any sense. But just to clarify that, hikikomori may be considered a cultural bound syndrome, which is what I meant before. That is more used in social context, like out of the scientific grounds. Also, they're trying to consider if actually hikikomori is an actual disorder, like psychiatric disorder, instead of being just a culture bound syndrome. But they're still researching about it. And yes, it's actually not classifiable in the DSM-IVTR or ICD-10, which is the book of psychologists that the book that psychologists used where they explain every single mental disorder, and their symptoms. So it's obviously not official there. It's not an official mental illness, which is that all of these things are trying to explain. I personally do believe that it's just a way of explaining like certain behaviors in the most social and context that it's like easier to explain. So I don't know if it'll ever be classified as such, but I guess we will see. Um, I did have 2 semesters in psychology, but I'm not a psychologist, so I just know a little bit about it. Um, Anyways, then researching more, I actually found out that hikikomori are usually not caused by depression or post-traumatic disorder, anything like that. It's usually because of bullying or harassment of whether it's classmates or teachers. Because I mean, this phenomenon is more common in high schools and young adults. So I do believe that it's because of that, but also as a I'm not even half like my grandpa was Japanese. I feel like Japanese people do demand a lot from people. No, you have to succeed, and if you don't succeed, you're like a scum. You have to bear honor of your name, your family, you failing at any, at life. And failing at life means not having a proper job, not having enough income from your family, You know, you have to be responsible. They're really strict when it comes to being late. They have like so many like structure values. Um, I feel like mainly evolving around money and success in career. So because of that, obviously, like not everybody can adapt to that. I feel like also physically, when it comes to looking um, skinny, being always proper, like you cannot. Japanese people never lose their temper. I mean, at least usually they shouldn't. They just have to follow the rules that society imposes on them. And if you don't, you're just not a rebel. Like you're just not. It's. I feel like it's completely the opposite from American culture in so many ways. And I feel like also that kind of pressure of being successful and being a part of society and being actively giving back to society, meaning having a very good job, a very good career, being smart, having good grades to actually be in a obviously in a good university, which is pretty hard enough already, um, puts so much pressure on them. Aside, like already since I personally believe that since there's like so many pressure from families, and honestly, there is kind of like abuse to an extent. Like, they you have to do things because you have to do them, and there's no excuse. They will use physical. Um, and also, I don't even want to talk from a point that like everyone is like that. I'm not saying everyone's like that, but I feel like a lot of people are like that, and they're so strict that it becomes toxic. Some of them, and at some point they were like pretty misogynistic not too long ago. So there's a lot going on. So it turns out that kids just walk away from society. They don't go to school. They don't. If they have to work, they don't go to work. They just stay at their parents. And what the parents do is just like feed them. Well, they just I don't know play games, stay at their room. Sometimes they don't shower. It's like entirely unorganized. There's like food everywhere, like food packages, bottles. They don't cook. They don't do absolutely nothing but play games and be on the internet. So, what it turns out actually is that according to Saito Tamaki, which is a psychiatrist, quoting from him, he says, people who have been withdrawn from society for a long time feel that their lives have no meaning or value. They become extremely miserable. It's too painful for them to see their situation as being their own fault, and so they begin to blame their parents for not raising them properly. They may imagine that they were abused even though they were not, and their grievances against their family can easily lead to violence. Now, this is a very interesting phrase, or something that he said, because I feel like all of us, when we're in quarantine, and some people that still don't have a job, including myself, even American society, or even like where I come from, your value is also measured up to you have to have a job, you have to be able to go through school and pass it, because otherwise you are like mentally delayed. Um, you have to be successful and have money and give back and go to university. If you don't go to university, you're kind of looked down upon depending on your job. If you're an artist, for example, it's like, oh, he's probably gonna be poor and he's not gonna make anything. He's gonna like starve. Ha 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 ha. And they are looked upon um like as less. So even us in America, Latin America, I feel like anywhere in the world nowadays, that is seen as the most important thing. And since you're not fulfilling what the rest of society is doing, you obviously lose meaning in life. You feel like there is no value because you're not doing anything, you know? And I know for a fact that I felt like that. Definitely. Um, Obviously, we are at home. We can't go anywhere. We can't see our friends. We can't see our loved ones. And we are just left alone to deal with this kind of thing. So, that is pretty much stuff. I'm sure it's like hard for all of us. Obviously, everybody deals with things different. And I guess in the case of Hikikomori, because they don't measure up enough to society standards. They blame their parents because they didn't raise them to actually be good enough. I think I get from this, which I mean to an extent, obviously, like if you're a kid and you grow up with certain things, it's also like your parents' fault. But at some point, like you have to take accountability and make a change in your life, because in the end, it is your life and your parents aren't living it. You have to do something about it, and they just a lot of them turned violent and just like they turned lazy. Tameki was explaining that the parents shouldn't enable them. You should call the police or anything to just not let them uh, get away with it, because at some point, like Hikikomori, their parents kind of let them do what they want. I honestly believe that some people, some Japanese people, since they don't talk about their feelings, like I don't think that they really want to address the situation because they're not good at doing that. Or it could be just because they don't want to embarrass themselves, and they don't want to see their neighbors knowing all that their son is doing. 'Cause, I mean, it is quite embarrassing for their culture. And honestly, if I had a son or a daughter that was like that voluntarily, I'd be pretty iffy about it. Like now I know that there must be like something going on with them, but being someone that grew up with such a high standards, and like if you said no, you were basically like slapped or really looked down upon. I would not understand that. But anyways, so that's where it comes from. Um, Only 10% of hikikomori turn this way because of abuse or post traumatic syndrome. So it's really low, the amount of people that feel this way because of that. So basically, I feel like the big difference between like a lot of us, that from the surface it can seem the same because we don't have a job, we may not be able to go to school, we literally stay at home, we don't go anywhere, we are not part of society, we can't take in the normal action of going out with friends and going to school or whatever. We like, if I look at my room, it's kind of messy. Like it doesn't look that good. I have like 3 bottles on my desk. um I feel pretty bad emotionally speaking. I barely have energy to clean, cook, do the basic things around the house, or take care of the house. So I feel from a surface level, it kind of looks like that, but it is. I feel like once I've explained how it really is not like that. At least not for all of us. Maybe there's someone that is acting like a hikikomori, like genuinely during quarantine, but we also have to take in account that we literally can't go or do certain things. So I feel like it's easier to fall in the specific feeling of having no meaning or value. But that's because it's put upon us. I feel like that's the only thing that we have in common. Feeling this way, not going out, losing touch with our friends, and yada yada yada. But it's the big difference is that it's put upon us. We're not deciding to just be lazy and not do anything. And also the whole cultural upbringing is so different, and certain things they will never add up because we don't even like Japanese culture. And so what I do believe that is the common thing is that many people are living with their parents, and they might be over 18 or 20. So you know some people are actually still have their job and they're like at their apartment alone, whether they're with their girlfriend, boyfriend, their roommate, whatever. But a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people lost their job and they had to go back to their parents' house. Or, a lot of teenagers are still living with their parents and maybe they still have online school. So they're bound to be at home all the time. And, they probably feel like this. They feel kind of depressed, pretty depressed. And what if their parents, you know, it's a different culture when it comes to the age gap, how they were raised. Obviously, a lot of children are different from their parents. So, what if the parents thought that they were acting hikikomori? What if they just thought that they were being lazy, they were not doing enough, that they were just gaining weight, they were just playing video games all day, they were just laying in bed all day for no reason? Because a lot of people are not really aware of mental health, especially, you know, older people, maybe over, I think people like over 40, 30 years old, and even if they are aware, some people are just toxic. And what if like all of them are just bound to be in their house, and maybe like some have work at home, some parents have work at home, or children cannot really go anywhere because quarantine. There's like nowhere to skip that when it comes to toxic parents. So what if they're judged just like a hikikomori person, but they don't have much of an option because of everything that's going on? And honestly, I feel like plenty of people are going through this. I was watching TikTok compilations because I don't have TikTok. Um, but I was watching TikTok compilations and something pop out about toxic parents TikTok. Um, and dang, like I could understand that. I could truly understand that. And what's happening is that a lot of kids or people that live with their parents and are bound to them, like basically they don't have control over their lives, but their parents do. And if they're toxic, it's like the worst combo ever. Because you are treated like a almost hikikomori, looked down upon because you don't have a job, you don't have school. Let's say in some cases, then what you have to do is do basic things around the house, which could be cleaning, cooking, taking care of the dogs, doing everything when it comes to the house. And that becomes your job, basically. Or your chores. The only thing that you're doing that's productive is your chores. And then your mom turns out to be your boss. But guess what, honey? You cannot quit from this job because you're bound to be here. So, what do you think? Like, how do you guys think that's gonna go? It's probably not gonna be very pretty. And I know that it's been so tough for like everybody to like already not being able to have a job, go to school. Like, we're already having those symptoms of withdrawal and the feeling meaningless. Let's sum up some toxic parents. hmm And I do want to play. I'm gonna play a couple videos, some TikToks that I watched. Um, and let me just show you guys.
Put a finger down if you are doing self care and your mom just came home freaking out about the coronavirus and you went in the closet for 5 seconds to get something and she told you that you were being fucking rude and not listening to her at all. And now she's having a psychotic break in her fucking bedroom and won't let you come in. Put a finger down if you have a dog.
Katie,
What?
we need to talk. There is something seriously wrong with you. Have you not noticed it? Huh? Katie? Huh? Would you talk to me?
I don't know.
What don't you know?
I've noticed a little bit, but I'm working on it.
No, I'm serious, Katie. No, I need to know, Katie. You've got me extremely worried. Kate, not working on it is one thing, but I mean, be honest with me, huh?
I am being honest.
No, you have got to have gained 20 pounds in the last 2 months.
Put a finger down if last year your mom went through your phone because she's nosy and found out you were talking to this girl, and she took your phone away for a week. And when you told her you liked girls because she read through the conversation, she said that you don't and it's just a phase. And then she wanted to take you to conversion therapy because she thought she could just like switch it out of you. Put a finger down if you hate spending this quarantine with her because she's really toxic and she makes you feel like shit. And we'll be like, but I do so much for you, like, you can't be mad at me, like. Put a finger down if you had a dream last night about a argument that you had in real life and you woke up crying because it triggered you again.
And so that's what we got. I feel like a lot of us can relate. And whoever is actually going through this, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that you're going through this, and I feel you, dude. I just want you to know that it's not your fault. And, I know that sometimes getting up and doing, I'm not even showering is so hard. It's mentally so taxing with everything that you already have going on. And if you're judged about it, I'm really sorry, but you don't deserve it. It's not on you. I don't want you to feel worthless because you used to do this every day, and now it's just so hard. Because the situation is hard. And, things are not normal. Things aren't what they used to be. So no matter what they tell you, you are doing just fine. And you are trying, and you are completely worth it. You have worth. You're not valued by money. You're not valued by education, like having the degree that you need right now. You're not valued by anything superficial that society or capitalism puts over you. You're not valued by your body because, damn, I have gained some weight. And I sometimes really have a hard time dealing with it. Knowing that, like, dang, I have actually gained weight. I already gained weight before, but now I'm gaining even more weight. It's like, okay, then I have to, like, make sure that I go work out, which my usual workout is skating. So it's like, but it becomes also like something stressful because I have to get it done because I don't want to gain weight. So, I don't know, like, I just want everybody else to know that I feel you. Don't feel like you guys are Hikikomori or like anything less. Because you guys are so strong. And we have got this. We got this. We got this in the bag. It's gonna be over pretty soon. I don't know for me because I'm like in a really weird situation. But most of you guys, like, once quarantine is over, everything's gonna go back to normal. You can get out, go anywhere that you want, do whatever you want. Eventually I'm gonna have that too, so, guys, it's gonna be fine. And I actually want to know your opinion. I want to know what you think about hikikomori. What do you think about quarantine? What have been actually your experiences? If it's been good, bad, worse, terrible. I want to know. I want to know your experiences, and I want you guys to be able to talk about it down in the comments if you want. Um, I really enjoyed making this video. So if you actually liked it, or if you have any opinions about how can I improve, how I can improve, I would actually love it if you would tell me down in the comments too. Please drop a like. I appreciate to know that you guys like my videos. Um, Also, if you like my art, you can support me on Redbubble. You can just go to my profile and then you just click the Redbubble icon in my background, and then it just takes you to my page. If you have any video ideas too or anything that you want to discuss, that is kind of controversial, any poem, anything, let me know. And I'll keep trying to post more if my mental state lets me. I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna keep trying. I don't want to say excuses. I just want to keep trying. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later.